Okay, this is today the 29-day wrap up. And today, as yesterday, I did a regular juice fast. I drank a lot of juice. I got up and I had orange pineapple, which that's really a good way for me to start because it just gives me that shot in the arm. It's like so tasty, and energizing and satisfying, and it just kind of sets me up right. So I had that. I had a little black coffee. Let's see, as I went along, working this and that. Oh yeah, I made a big tomato juice, or I had a no, I made tomato juice. I made tomato juice, and later, and I had a few butterscotch candies. I had some broth, and then in the afternoon, I made grape juice with the rest of the red globe grapes, and it was very good, and I really needed it. Today, I was like, I needed motivation because it's like, I just felt so close and yet so far, and it's like, I just, I just was losing steam. I was just like, oh, I just can't stand this. This is awful. And so I watched a food video, Darren McGrady, who is the chef to the royal family. And watching food videos at the end of a juice fast for me is actually very helpful because it gives me a semblance of eating and food. It's the subject matter, but you're not eating. So it doesn't encourage me to eat in particular, especially if it's food I don't eat. Like he cooks very rich foods. They're too rich. And so it's just like the subject of food that I don't eat. Watching Chew on Vegan, her recipes are just like the food is so the kind of food I like that it's a little difficult, although very interesting and very educational, and it gears me up for like a vision of the future in terms of weight maintenance. But it's real borderline. It's real borderline. But I continued to watch him just because it was better than nothing. And so I was really into the food thing. I went to the sauna. I did a half an hour of elliptical, which was good. That took my mind off of it. A little yoga, little weights, and I went in. I did the whirlpool, and then I got in the sauna, and somebody said hi to me. I looked over and didn't first recognize him, and then I know this guy's a real friendly guy, but he gained weight, and so I was telling him I wanted juice fast. He was just making conversation, and then it occurred to me like this guy might really benefit from a juice fast because he's gained a lot of weight since the last time I saw him, and he's a really nice person. He's always heavy, but he's gotten like too heavy now, and I told him about Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and that's just the kind of, and I explained the whole thing, and he asked me, he said, I told him I have Bloody Marys, without the vodka, and he goes, well, could you put a little vodka in it? And I said to him, I said, just kind of like, and analyzing who this fellow is, I said, if that will get you to do a juice fast, if in the evening or in the morning you put a little jigger of vodka in there, or you have your fresh orange juice and you put a little bit of whatever you want to put in there, um, that that's better than nothing. And he could do that. He could have a couple, like a shot a day, if that's what he's used to, and do a juice fast, and I think he'd still lose weight. You know, it never occurred to me before. I remember Joe Cross talked about the guy who owns Starbucks. He wanted to do a juice fast, and he said to him, well, can I continue to drink coffee? And he did because it's something he just couldn't give up. You know what I mean? It was the one thing that was just a bridge too far. And I drink coffee, with my juice fast. There's it's good to be a purist, but doing it somewhat is better than nothing. And so I told him to watch Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And then I came home when I was meditating, and I thought, at the end of the meditation, I thought, I should watch Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead again. Because I've seen it, I don't know, 5 times more. I thought, that's just what I need to reestablish my commitment because, I still have another day tomorrow, and I need to get my mind right. I need that enthusiasm. And so I watched it, and it was just like I hadn't seen it. Like they have all these cartoons in there. I thought, boy, these are really well done. And I just love Joe Cross. I love his mother. She's so sweet. And then he meets Phil, this guy Phil, and that way Phil struggles with the juice, and he's a real, he's the kind of guy who really loves the barbecue, and he's at this resort where Joe Cross puts him up, and they're having a 4th of July barbecue, and he's talking to this guy at the barbecue, and he nearly like reached behind him and grabbed a hot dog off the grill and just shoved it in his mouth. And I know the feeling. And he's in his hotel room, and he's like jonesing like a drug addict, and that's exactly what food is. And then he goes to see his brother. He's already lost like 60 pounds or something. And they have, in the beginning, they have a picture of him with his brother, and he's bigger than his brother. But now he's smaller than his brother, and he's younger than his brother. His brother starts talking about Spam and how much he loves Spam. And it's like, it was almost as if I could feel that his brother kind of resented the fact that he lost the weight because it threatened his position in the pecking order. So he brings up Spam, which is like, it's like a trigger. Like everybody loves Spam. I mean, I haven't had Spam for years, but I know it's one of those foods. It's like, but it's, it's got that salt and fat. And, it's just terrible for you. But to bring that up to his brother, I could just feel it was like, that's not very nice of you, But anyway, it encouraged me to, it helped. Let's put it that way. It helped, and I haven't quite finished watching it. I'll probably finish watching it tomorrow. And let's see. I think I made some more tomato juice tonight because I needed more tomato juice. And when I got home from meditating. And I also noticed that Joe Cross did mostly green juices, which is really best. If you want to lose weight, that's best, but it's also the most difficult course. And the other thing is that Joe struggles to keep his weight down. I can see him on the internet. He's like, he goes up and then he does another juice fast. And, for people like myself who have this syndrome that we get into of overeating, overindulging, for whatever reason, we just have to keep going back to it. And I did this time. And I didn't want to, I wish I had another way to do it. And I'm going to try this vegan eating, low-fat vegan eating, like this basically called the starch solution, which has worked for me before. That is something that worked for me before. And see if I can just maintain my weight by going onto that diet. And I hope I can. Because this is a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble. And I'm going to do another 20 days in 30 days in another month, See how I do with my diet once I start eating it. But tomorrow is the last day, and but it's not over till the fat lady sings, or the, somewhat lighter lady sings. So just get through tomorrow, and I'll start eating, and it'll be really fun. I was looking at the instructions for my air fryer, and I'm soaking chickpeas because I'm gonna make like spicy chickpeas in the air fryer. It's gonna be really fun, and put it on my spiralized zucchini and butternut squash salad. Ooh, with low-fat dressing. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, it really makes you appreciate food. And like the fact that I want to have a spiralized zucchini and butternut squash salad, I don't usually want that, but it resets everything. So that's like, oh, I really want that with cabbage. Ooh, I like cabbage always. It just resets your relationship. And, so glad I did this. I'm so much better off. And, but there's more road to travel. And I'm glad I'm doing these videos because it was just one more thing that kept me on track. So that's it. This is the 29th day of a 30-day juice fast, March 2022.